So I love studying Jesus's parables that he told because there's just so much depth. There's so much when you start to learn like the culture of the times. You pick up on all these details, and there's just so much more to each story that he told. So I want to read the parable of the Good Samaritan. So this is an NIV Bible. This is Luke 10:25. So on one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he asked, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" "What is written in the law?" he replied. "How do you read it?" He answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength, with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." "You have answered correctly," Jesus replied. "Do this and you will live." But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" In reply, Jesus said, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. 'Look after him,' he said, 'and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have.' Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers?" The expert in the law replied, "The one who had mercy on him." Jesus told him, "Go and do likewise." So many interesting things here. Jesus is speaking to a teacher of the law, a Jew, and tells a story where a Samaritan is the hero of the story. The teacher of the law and the people listening would have been shocked. They would have been, a lot of them, pissed off. They would have been like, "What?" Because Jews and Samaritans did not like each other. There was a racial tension there. There was hostility. The Jews, they avoided the Samaritans at all costs and thought of them as half-breeds, just didn't like them, So when asked, "Who is my neighbor?" Jesus picks the last person that this teacher of the law would have wanted to hear was his neighbor. So, the priest walks by this man on the side of the road, half dead. And maybe he thought he was dead, and by touching a corpse, he would have become ceremonially unclean, which would have inhibited him from doing his work at the temple. It would have made him have a major inconvenience to then become purified through rituals and all of that. And same with the Levite, they were assisting at they assisted the priests in the temples. So it would have been a major inconvenience to stop and help this guy. So they walked on by. And a Samaritan sees this guy, who he knows probably hates him. And he takes pity on him, and he touches his body, and he helps him. Takes him to an inn, gives him 2 denarii, which is about 2 days worth of wages. For any of us, that's a lot of money, and then is going to give more money when he comes back. Pretty generous there. That's what Jesus is asking of us. Anybody can love their neighbor when it's convenient. Anybody can love their neighbor who is just like us, thinks just like us, looks just like us, votes just like us. That's easy. Jesus doesn't want easy. He's asking us to walk a narrow path. He's asking us to love everyone. And he's asking us to really think about the people that we just don't want to love for whatever self-righteous reasons we have, just like, the priest walking by. He wants us to think about this. Who is the last person you would want to go and help and touch. Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. And, in a world where there's so much violence, there's so much hate, there's also so much self-righteousness. We have to be really careful how we speak about others. We have to be careful to take the opportunities we can to help one another physically, like in this example, and also to not spread hate through our words. Because the way we speak about one another really matters. It really matters. And we might say, no, we don't condone violence, Yet we condone slander. We condone making fun of people. And that is majorly us not loving our neighbors. So, who is it for you? There's definitely people that for me, it's much harder for me to love. There's, of course, inconveniences involved with loving certain people, with helping people, with going out of my way. But I know Jesus is calling me higher. He's calling us higher. And there's something really beautiful about the process of learning to love and help others, even when it's super inconvenient, even when it grosses us out, even when our self-righteousness says, but I really don't even need to help that person. We have to look past that. We have to look deeper. That's what he's asking us to do.